Hello, my name is Kamaljit. I came to Canada in 2017 and I grew up in Jalandhar, Punjab, Doaba region, very famous. And uh, well, right after uh, finishing my school, I just decided to came to Canada. I came here in 2017 and completed my education just before COVID, and it's been very troublesome the post-COVID time. And well, there's this project came along. I heard about CAST in Canada through Surya Yegde's videos or Chikna Association, and well, it intrigued me, and I am interested in talking about my experiences that I have faced or I have seen caste discrimination here. One of our professors decided to show a documentary named Kitemolve Mahi made by Ajay Bhardwaj, beautifully made, and it's that movie was or film was about Dalit landlessness among them and Doaba region of Punjab, the attraction towards Sufism. And while watching that documentary, there were some incidents when the people or scholars were talking about caste or the casteist slurs, and you could literally hear a laugh in the classroom. Well, and there was this incident or scene when a woman who was a Dalit, and she decided not to sign on the papers that were given to her for getting um, retirement pension plan. Well, the way she spoke, that I could not find any humor in that. It's been very normal for me hearing such voices, such accent, but there's like laughter in my class, and there's everybody's when I looked around, like everybody's laughing, and that was really shocking. And the insensitivity towards that scene or that to that woman was really concerning. And I tried to reach out to professor and the other classmates as well, but it's been awful experience to see such or to go through such stuff. And yeah, that was like, even it's been very common, if not a daily routine, hearing such casteist slurs around the campus. They will be, of course, there is this thing that they want to know about your last name. And well, that happened to me while working at a workplace. And uh, someone came up to me who was like really concerning, and he asked me what my full name is. And I said, my name is Kamaljit. And then he asked again, uh, well, what's your full name? Full name is like your last name. So I responded by saying Kamaljit, Kamaljit. That's my legal name. Well, that's what's like on passports and stuff. Um, that wasn't like enough for him to just take that information and go away. He came back and he asked, no, your last name. And I said, well, this is my last name. Like, Bangar is my last name, and or Bangar is my last name in proper Punjabi. And uh, well, then he responded, oh, you're also from these people, or oh, you also belong to those people, or something like that. And that was quite an experience. Um, yeah. Even after that, other places like people who burn and raised here, even from them as well, I've heard caste slurs, and like if you're smoking cigarettes, uh, their mother or used to call them as like using C-bomb caste slurs and identifying them as such. Um, yeah, that was like being a worker in Canada. Well, I think caste is such a violent notion, and if our traditions, our long family traditions, our rituals, our ceremonial acts can travel with us, there is also a possibility that the adversity that follows through that can also travel with us. And it exists among us. The monster, the caste exists among us, and we gotta recognize it and address it. The way it works is different than the way it works in India. Uh, It's more violent, more atrocities, you know, and but here people still have this fear of law, and I don't know, like the things that you feel being an immigrant. But I have seen a rise in terms of caste atrocities, or more and more people are coming out and talking about caste. Back home, it's different. Here, it's different. Here, people want to know your last name first and then start their conversation. While back home, it's like what kind of neighborhood you're coming from. You know. So here, it's more like more personal. Like they would like to explore your identity first and then proceed with your conversations. But it wasn't like that in back home. But I have faced more caste discrimination here than back home. That was like interesting fact, and it It's very shocking to see people behaving in such manners, and I feel like caste has such a ability an ability to strike uh, existential question like who you are, where you came from, and you gotta go through or explore those past relations or memories. While being an international student, you're already vulnerable enough. You're paying all those tuition fee and working, studying, assignments, and you still gotta talk to your parents. There's a lot of stuff happening, but when there's like something this comes along, it makes it more worse, and that's that's where my understanding of caste in Canada came. Like, why is this still happening to me? Why people are so concerned about my surname? And then you start talking to your parents, your friends, families back home. You start reading about it, and even in while like being friends to someone, people can just call you names and they do not even care about it. Well, they were shocked first of all, like how come this is like still happening to you? Like you're not in India anymore, and I wasn't living in South Indian or South Asian dominated space as well, and why it is like, is this happening to you now? But again, the classroom, the people you meet, workplaces, they were shocked to see me in this situation, and it has affected my studies. I've failed in courses and big time, and it has like completely changed or terminated my focus from one side to the other. Yeah. I came here as a like to study business and stuff, but then I was being stuck with my identity, like what? And yeah, felt isolated as well during college time, even at workplaces. Even on 14th April, this one, the previous month, someone came up to me, and 14th April, by the way, is Dr. Ambedkar's birthday, Jayanti, and someone came up to me and asked like, "Hey, what caste do you belong to?" That's very high note, and I said, and I didn't hesitate, and I said, "Well, I belong to this caste." And then that person, that wasn't enough for him as well, and he said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yes." And, "Oh, no, you're lying." I said, "I'm not lying. It is what it is. There is nothing to lie about it." And the first incident that took place after he asked about my caste, I think that was more concerning than just asking about my caste. So he went on like, "Oh, you're lying. No, no, you're lying." Like that repetitive sort of gestures or action or speech, that was very troublesome. And I was very upset with like that person. Like you don't just sometimes people just like say that you don't look like one, you know, because they have some prejudice or way or stereotypical way of thinking, or they have some um, color or like more fair, darker skin in their minds. There's this movie called The Discreet Charm of Sovereignness. It is a must watch, and like how people develop prejudices or stereotypes about Dalits and other marginalized communities. Well, even though there are organizations who are working on caste and um, but it's not approachable, or I did not know any. And I just shared this experience of mine with my professor, and he helped me with like talking about it, like making me talking more about it, or to share if there's like anything I am experiencing, uh, if there's anything that I want to talk about it. So there was this space with him that I could share, and he helped me a lot. So he was the first, I think, one who introduced me to these events like on Ambedkar and so on. Yeah. So at that time, when I was going through this period of I or going through this process or period of discrimination, or I I wasn't quite ready to talk to anybody, even though there is like an organization or something like that. But then of course, I grew up in Dalit neighborhood, Dalit upbringing, family who is very Ambedkarite, and it's been a history as well. So it wasn't hard for me to go and explore Dr. Ambedkar's writings. So I started reading Ambedkar and people who've been, or essays, people who've been like Anand Tiltumbre and then Suraj Ingre and so on. It just started like that. My grandfather was highly involved in Adharam movement, so he was a part of that movement. And while growing up, I mean, you hear Ambedkar's name a lot, or and it just almost feels like Ambedkar is just one of your family members. You can talk about him. Whoever is like coming to our house, they will the top or the I think discussion on caste is a must. Like I don't know, people will get together and they will joke about things or what's been written in today's newspaper. They will dissect the newspaper. Oh, this is not right. Stuff like that. It's been fun journey. Yeah. But they were highly involved in other movement. Still, pretty much are. Well, there's this connection that I feel with being Punjabi because the kind of movies and songs that are coming, it's very casteist. It has like caste pride in it. I don't feel connected, so I have to explore all those poets who are died or who are dead, and so those dead poets are now helping me to recognize my identity. Or it's not it's not this, like it's not what they are showing now, like in movies and stuff. So the there's like I don't know, I have this disconnection with my being Punjabi. I'm gonna go through with this. I just have this like concern about uh, so now I have to read all those poets or novelists, or I have to talk more to my grandmother to get to know the taste of what being Punjabi is like, because it's not just what's being like. It's very patriarchal the way it's going. You know, you have to be some sort of I don't know. You have to be at the forefront, being a man. That's what been taught. I think I do not believe in that, or I feel like this is like re, I want to reclaim my identity. I don't want to hear or watch what they are showing or portraying women or men of Punjab. It's not limited to a specific religion, you know, those rituals. Yeah. I mean, if you watch Kiti Milve Mahi, it has like beautiful, you don't see those uh, the kind of activities or people talking to each other normally, and they want to glorify stuff, they want to show the actual reality or how it looks like. They want to glorify it. It's like Bollywood, you want to glorify things. It's not, I feel like I gotta reclaim my Punjabi identity. Definitely, I feel hopeful, like the way things are, or the notion of caste is being discussed in North America, especially states like California, Seattle, Toronto District Board as well. I think things are hopeful. We just gotta collect more and more stories, and people, if they are willing, they should come and talk about it. And otherwise, it's just gonna be, I mean, if we do not reclaim our identity, they will color us the way they want. No, they will put everybody into Indian fold, and then this is what it is. No. So it's good. Talks are there are discussions that are happening, and there is a way that we can proceed further. We can talk about it, and like adding caste as a protected category. And I wish like there are more schools, colleges, and universities who could talk about caste. I'm sure there are so many people who are studying there belong to Dalit background, and they have to face this, if not routinely basis, but very often. It's like when people come to Canada, they bring all that rituals and family traditions and with them, you know, there's not a filter sort of thing at the Canadian borders that you can filter just the good things and keep the bad things away, the adversity. And so the cast, whoever is coming like from India, they will, the narrative of caste or it it's gonna be part of their identity. It will be coming along with them, you know, and we have more discourses on this. Yeah. And people who ask about my like last name and surname, just want to say like we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in denial of my humanity and right to exist. James Baldwin. James Baldwin. That's a very powerful quote.